Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
It's time for front page news. Mimi Brown.
Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, Jess. How y'all doing?
Good morning, girl. I'm mad that my Ravens lost last night. It's just one dumb move after another. They lost the same way they lost the first week, man. Gosh.
38-30, they lost to the Detroit Lions. So the Ravens are 1-2, the Lions are 2-1.
Yeah.
I could care less.
What are the Cowboys, Charlamagne?
1-2.
Clowned out. No, go
Yes,
ahead.
exactly. Clowned out. That's actually exactly you right. Clowned out. You right.
All right, y'all. Let's jump right in. So Jimmy Kimmel is set to return to ABC tonight after nearly a week off the air, but his comeback is already stirring debate. So more than 400 celebrities, including Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, Jennifer Aniston, they signed a ACLU back letter calling Kimmel's suspension a blow to free speech and warning companies not to cave to government pressure. Now, at the same time, one of ABC's biggest affiliate owners isn't budging. So Sinclair Broadcasting Group, which controls nearly 40 ABC stations nationwide, says it will keep Kimmel off the air and instead run local news. Now, the company has previously said that it wants Kimmel to issue a public apology, make a donation to Charlie Kirk's family and Turning Point USA, and signs what it calls an accountability agreement to ensure more professionalism. Until then, viewers in cities like Seattle, Washington, D.C., St. Louis, even Portland won't see the show tonight.
Damn.
Now, Kimmel was originally suspended indefinitely, but Disney said, they quote said, Disney said the move was, quote, to avoid further inflaming a tense situation and an emotional moment for our country. But now, after what they call a thoughtful conversation between the host and top executives, he will return tonight. Now, this all comes after Disney is weighing a $6.2 billion merger between Nexstar and Tegna. Their streaming losses are into the billion, with people canceling their subscriptions. And so, but tonight, all eyes will be on Kimmel, what he will say, what he will do. Charlamagne, what do you think we'll see? Will we get an apology? Will it be business as usual? Will he double down? What are you expecting?
I hope Jimmy Kimmel don't let them take his nuts from him. I mean, because the reality is Sinclair isn't allowing him back on because Sinclair needs that merger with Tegna to go through, and they need FCC approval. So, I mean, there's really no need for Jimmy Kimmel to come back and, tuck his tail in any way, shape, or form, because it kind of feels like the writing's on the wall. If Sinclair's not bringing your show back now anyway, it kind of feels like at any moment they're going to let that guillotine drop. So you might as well come in there with guns a-blazing. Go out guns a-blazing, man.
Yeah. So sources say he will address the controversy some kind of way. So we'll just all tune in. I think the ratings will be really good tonight, regardless of if Sinclair's not going to broadcast it or not. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah, because it'll be all over social media anyway. Yeah.
All over social media. And you can stream it on different platforms. And, if you haven't canceled your Hulu, I believe you can even watch it on Hulu. So you'll be able to watch it even if your local station is not carrying it.
Mm-hmm.
And President Trump, he is publicly directing the Justice Department to go after his political opponents, raising alarms inside the Justice Department about ethics, independence, and job security. Now, over the weekend, the president posted on Truth Social that he wants investigations launched into 3 of his most outspoken critics: former FBI Director Jim Comey, New York Attorney General Letitia James, and California Senator Adam Schiff. Now, he wrote, "We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served." Now, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, she insists this is not about weaponizing the Justice Department. Let's hear what she had to say.
We are not going to tolerate gaslighting from anyone in the media or from anyone on the other side who is trying to say that it's the president who is weaponizing the DOJ. It was Joe Biden and his attorney general who weaponized the DOJ. Joe Biden used this sacred American institution to go after his political opponent in the middle of an election year. And you look at people like Adam Schiff and like James Comey and like Letitia James, who the president is rightfully frustrated. He wants accountability for these corrupt fraudsters who abused their power, who abused their oath of office to target the former president and then candidate for the highest office in the land.
And this is why I understand completely why people are having a conversation about free speech in regards to media. But let's be clear, President Trump has a hit list. Okay, we knew that this second Trump term was going to be a revenge tour, from Kimmel to Colbert to The View to Letitia James to James Comey to Adam Schiff to Biden. Trump is looking for revenge. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And he fired a federal prosecutor in Virginia because they would not indict Letitia James and all the people we just named. So, he installed someone else. So we'll see what's going to happen. We'll talk more about this at 7. Also coming up at 7, a shakeup at a popular budget airline could send travelers scrambling this holiday season. We'll tell you what's happening.
Yes, it's the world's most dangerous morning show, The Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God, Jess Hilarious, DJ Envy. Envy is off today, but it's time for front page news with Mimi Brown. First, I want to tell y'all that the Detroit Lions beat the Baltimore Ravens 38-30 last night. I told you I don't care about the NFL this week, okay? You saw what the Bears did to my Cowboys, so I don't even care about the NFL this week, okay? Yes.
Projection.
Mimi, good morning.
All right. Good morning, Charlamagne. Good morning, Jess. So we're going to talk about the White House. We're going to get to where President Trump is stirring debate this morning about new warnings about a popular drug that millions of Americans rely on. At a press event, he pointed to Tylenol, saying it poses a risk for pregnant women, including a possible link to autism. Let's listen to what he had to say.
First, effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of acetaminophen, which is basically commonly known as Tylenol, during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism. So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good.
Trump and RFK Jr. talked the way we used to talk back in the 90s and early 2000s. Like every conspiracy theory that was out there. You know what I'm saying? Like Tylenol causes autism.
Yo.
Did they even give any reason why? They just...
There's no studies linked to this. In fact, doctors say it's simply not true. Tylenol has long been considered the safest option during pregnancy, and untreated fevers can actually be dangerous for mom and baby if you don't take Tylenol. So the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists called Trump's remark irresponsible, while the Autism Science Foundation said the claims were shocking. And Tylenol's maker is also pushing back, stressing decades of science show there is no link between Tylenol and autism.
Why they not going to sue? Tylenol can sue. That's a lawsuit.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then just think about how many people is under this man's influence. If he say stop blinking because it's bad for our head, then his people going to stop going to do that. You know what I'm saying? His influence is big to some people. So just imagine how many people is about to stop buying Tylenol and how heavily that's going to affect Tylenol.
Yeah, Tylenol got to sue.
This is the same person who said to drink bleach, right, during COVID.
That is very true.
Damn, I didn't even hear that one.
And you know what we used to say in the late 90s, early 2000s? That drinking bleach can kill AIDS. So just think about that. Yes, that was a thing that people used to say back in the day.
No.
But you also know if you drink bleach, you're going to die.
Right.
So technically, it does kind of work.
Oh, my God.
But my point is, this is the kind of ridiculous stuff that's coming from the White House now that we used to say when we was teenagers.
That is crazy.
Well, there's more. At that same White House event, the president also weighed in on childhood vaccines, offering his personal views on how parents should time their children's shots. Again, this was his personal opinion. These are not medical recommendations. Let's hear that.
The MMR, I think, should be taken separately. This is based on what I feel, the mumps, measles, and the 3 should be taken separately. It seems to be that when you mix them, there could be a problem. The chicken pox is already separate because when that got mixed in, I guess they made it 4 for a while, it really was bad. And then hepatitis B is sexually transmitted. There's no reason to give a baby that's almost just born hepatitis B. So I would say wait till the baby is 12 years old.
Okay. Well, health officials say that's misleading. Hepatitis B isn't only sexually transmitted, it can spread through blood, needles, and from mother to child at birth. Babies infected with that way, they have a 90% chance of chronic illness, and many die from liver-related disease. And so that's why the CDC and pediatricians recommend the vaccine for newborns, not teens.
I know we really got to change the rules, Mimi. There has to be a harder barrier to entry to become president. Like,
Wow. It's wild.
like Jesus
You can
Christ,
just say
man.
anything
I mean,
now.
come on, man.
So, and switching gears a little bit, and I wanted to talk to you about this, Charlamagne, because I know you read the book. So Democrats are bracing for impact as former Vice President Kamala Harris's new book hits shelves today. 107 Days is her account of the final stretch of the 2024 campaign. But instead of uniting the party, some Democrats say it's reopening old wounds. Now, the memoir takes swipes at President Biden, saying he should have never run for re-election, and even recalling how he called her minutes before the debate with Donald Trump to scold her about criticizing him.
That's
Now,
right.
Harris also reflects on people she once considered as potential running mates, including Pete Buttigieg, who she said would have been the ideal partner, but America wasn't ready for a Black woman and a gay man in the White House. She also writes about Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who she accused of angling for VP instead of focusing on the campaign. And both men, they are responding. Buttigieg said, trust is earned by what you deliver, not categories. Shapiro is saying that Harris will have to answer for why she didn't raise alarms earlier about Biden sooner. And she also mentions California Governor Gavin Newsom, who she says didn't return her call when Biden dropped out, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, who initially hesitated to endorse her. And the backlash is drawing comparison to Hillary Clinton's What Happened, another post-election memoir that split Democrats. So the question, though, is, Charlamagne, you read the book.
Yep.
Does this help her legacy, define her legacy, or is it what they're saying deepen the divisions between already in the Democratic Party?
That is a great question. When it comes to the VP, I don't even know if this book is about her as much as it could be a game changer for the Democratic Party. And what I mean by that is, I know some people might say, her telling her truth is too little too late, but I personally believe this is exactly what the Democratic Party needs. Like, the inner politics and the BS of the party are one of the main reasons they lost. And she's just pulling back the curtain, on all of it. And I know a lot of Democratic loyalists and Biden lovers, they're going to get in their feelings. But if they read this book and understand, I know she not lying, and they just embrace the things that she's saying, I think it could be very good for the party, because anybody that wants to be the now and the future of the party has to throw that old regime under the bus, and she absolutely did that. But I will say, too, the media is putting some sauce on a lot of things, though. Like, the Shapiro thing in particular, I didn't get that from what she said about Josh Shapiro. What I got from what she was saying is that Josh Shapiro just wouldn't have made a good number two because he's actually a number one. And she was like, you need somebody in your VP that just wants to be VP. And she was saying that Josh was saying he wanted to be in the room on a lot of decisions that were being made. And she was just like, that's just not realistic. But everything else you said, 100%. She was throwing shots. Good
She
shots,
did
though.
say something like, you can't be a co-president, right? Something like that.
You
Is
can't
that
be
what
a
she called?
co-president. Yes, you can't be a co-president. And when she was talking about, the funny thing about the Gavin Newsom thing, it's literally just a line, because she has this whole part of the book where she's talking about all the different responses she got from people. And she was like, I guess Gavin's text was, call you back, I'm hiking.
Damn. Gee.
And he never called back.
Okay, so they're putting a little sauce on it. Okay,
Yes, but the
all
book
right.
is great. I'm like, it is a fantastic read in 107 days.
Okay.
And she-
all right. Well, it comes out today. Go ahead.
No, she gave the Breakfast Club, and she gave me and the Breakfast Club a mention too, so I appreciate that.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. And while Democrats are dealing with divisions inside their own party, really quickly, everyday Americans are facing their own type of turbulence. Spirit Airlines, the budget carrier known for its no frills, low cost, says it will furlough about 1,800 flight attendants. That's nearly a third of its crew starting December 1st, right during the holidays. Now, the airline, which has already filed for bankruptcy twice this year, says the cuts are part of a broader restructuring plan. Spirit is also trimming its flight flight schedule by about 25% in November and pressuring pilots to give up about $100 million in pay and benefits. And so what this really means for listeners is fewer flights just as the holidays are getting underway, like fewer cheaper flights as the holidays are getting underway. So,
hey, Spirit, furlough the whole airline, okay? All right, who flies Spirit? Spirit is like black jelly beans.
But there's a lot of people who fly Spirit. I'm
gonna be honest with you, Mimi. They owe me money. They owe me. Spirit owe me like $137 for like 20 plus years, yo.
Wow, you took one flight?
Yes, I booked the flight on Spirit, and they just canceled the flight. That was the one time I ever flew Spirit. They just canceled the flight for no reason. It wasn't no rain. It was a nice sunny day, and they didn't even have a customer service to go talk to.
Damn.
Yes, man.
They make you go through the app or something, and you can't even do that.
I don't even know if they had apps back then, Mimi. I'm gonna be honest with you. This was like 10, 12 years ago. I don't know if they had apps. Spirit is trash.
Damn.
Been trash.
All right, y'all. Well, that's your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me on social at Mimi Brown or Mimi Brown TV. And for more news coverage, follow the Black Information Network or download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to VINnews.com.
Thank you, Mimi.
Hold up. Every day I wake up.
Wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?